welcome to Jensa Wellness Prenatal Yoga for Bigger Body Mamas. Hey girls, we're gonna do something today. It'll be maybe a 20-minute practice, and I'm gonna integrate some postures and tidbits of the three things that I think are really crucial to make it through the end of pregnancy, labor, and delivery. That is relaxation, mobility, and strength, which can be challenging for all of us, no matter what age, weight, or background you have. So we're going to put a little effort into all of these things today. I do have some props that I will be bringing to my mat that I want to show you first, particularly if you're new to yoga, or if you've been practicing and just never have used props before. These are really, they've been excellent investments, if you ask me. This is a bolster. Mine's kind of busted. I washed it outside. And it didn't zip back up. I'm going to fix one of these days. But anyhow, this is a bolster. It's a little firm. See, it doesn't squish very well. So and it's meant to bring your hips up, allowing a pelvic tilt, which can be easier and more comfortable to sustain especially while you're pregnant, or if you just have some womb issues, like endometriosis or something like that, anterior tilt. Anyway, pillows, well, you can't even see it. Pillows stacked up or folded up blankets are also a good alternative to a bolster if you don't have one or can't get your hands on one. You'll maybe need more because they're not as firm as a bolster would be. And then I have some blocks, and these are two different sizes, two different thicknesses, but they have the same height in two directions, and that's all that really matters for our purposes. I find that they're just right for use at home. I've had all of these for about a year. The whole family uses them. These blocks are used to bring the earth to you, making postures and shapes more accessible when we have extra in the middle, whether it is from baby or just our regular shape. Either way, these blocks are really, really helpful at getting into some of those kinks and really in tight spaces when bending over, or particularly when bending over becomes a challenge. They're also used to support in all kinds of ways. You can sit on them if you don't have a bolster. You can use books in place of these, or get creative with anything else around your house, maybe Tupperware containers. Anyway, so we'll go ahead and get started. And again, welcome, and I hope everyone's pregnancy so far is going well. If you are joining us pregnant, I am 5 months and really enjoying every bit of it. I say that to try to convince myself. This one's a lot more challenging than the last. Okay, let's get started. Okay, we'll start sitting in an easy seated pose. Let's draw one heel into the crotch, the other one side. If your legs come up, that's fine. You can support with blocks or books. If you can bring them in, if this is where you're at, that's totally fine too. Just respect where you're at. Every day is different. Every body is different. We'll drop in. Take a nice deep breath, shrugging the shoulders up. Inhale. Exhale the side. Dropping the shoulders down. We'll do 2 more like that. Inhale, shrug up. Lift the torso. Exhale, shrug down. And sigh. Maybe you feel some crunchies in your shoulders as you do this. It's good. We'll open them up a little bit more. So let's do two more. Inhale, shrug, and exhale. Sigh. Maybe round them backwards and down the back body. Shrugging up, down the back body and sigh. Good. We'll come to stillness here for a second. You putting the hands on the belly, closing the eyes if that feels comfortable to you, or maybe just finding a soft gaze in front of you. You can focus on one small thing. If your eyes are open, if your eyes are closed, let's focus on the breath for a minute, feeling the sensations that it brings at the nose when we inhale, and the change in temperature, perhaps, when you exhale. Feel the changes in the chest as you inhale, letting it rise. And then as you exhale and the chest releases, and let's move our awareness down into the belly and the womb space. Noticing how it expands when we inhale and contracts when we exhale. Now let's imagine as we inhale sending fresh oxygen to the baby. Inhale deeply, sending oxygen down to that sweet little babe. And then exhaling carbon dioxide and other things that we no longer need. Do two more of those, inhaling goodness, sending it to our babe, and then exhaling that which no longer serves us. Do one more of these. Imagine that you're exhaling when you do exhale. Imagine that you're getting rid of bad ideas about yourself, fears, all of it. Maybe we'll do one more. Inhale completely, fully, and exhale. Let it all go. Okay. Here we are. We'll join each other on all fours now. Make our way there with the knees underneath the hips or close to it. And again, palms spread wide. We'll be pressing into this L shape, or the flesh here in the L shape, and fingerprints just about underneath the shoulders. We'll inhale, look forward, drop the belly. And then exhale. Use the hips to tilt down and arch through the back of the cat. Slowly letting the breath guide you through the torso, making space between each vertebrae. Next one, we're going to hinge backwards to get at the hips to heels, to get more space in the mid to low back area. And stop when it gets uncomfortable for your baby or your belly. You can also, to make more space when you do this one, you can widen the knees, keeping the toes together. Widen the knees a little bit. And then you can do your cow pose and then drop the hips back to the heels. That gives you more space for baby and belly. And don't forget to drop the head, releasing the neck, just letting the tension just melt away. When you get here, let it go. And maybe you stay here for a little bit, wiggle around. Let your body and your body's needs guide you. This is what I hope to teach everybody through my videos, is how to listen to what your body is asking for and learning the tools to be able to give that. Making sure that you're keeping up your breath, inhaling on the way up, and then exhaling as you tilt and go back. Okay, then we'll meet back at tabletop. Drawing the knees back under the hip points if you did move them. I'm going to make a little space here. I'm going to show you another version of cat-cow that can be quite helpful. And gives you a little bit more space. So we'll take the left foot out to the side. I'll turn so you can see maybe a little better. Left foot, yeah. So you want the toes pointed in the direction of the crown of your head. And then we can do the cat-cow here. So cat-cow, inhale, look forward. And then exhale, tilt the pelvis down, arching through the back body, making space between the shoulders. Let's do a couple of these on each side. Okay, and we'll switch sides. The right leg out to the side. Again, making sure that the toes are pointed in the same direction as the head. One more, and then we'll meet back in tabletop. Okay, then from here, let's curl the toes under, and then we'll just walk our way back to sitting on top of the heels. It's going to be a little challenging if you are tight in the feet. But it can also be a really nice stretch, particularly if you're experiencing some swelling in the feet, or if the extra weight is giving your feet a hard time on a daily basis. Let's just take a couple breaths here. Let's just go ahead and set an intention. I am, whatever you want to finish it with, make it positive. I am ready. I am beautiful. I am a good mother. Take your pick. Anything. Whatever resonates with you today. And sometimes this can be challenging if you're having a lull. But pick something. Anything. Okay, I am. Ooh. And back down to all fours. From here, we'll uncurl the toes, plant the tops of the feet down. walk the hands out a little bit forward. We'll bring the toes together, open the knees wide, and we'll do some drunken cat-cow. Just opening up the hip space a little bit. And the groin, the inner thighs. Here we're rotating side, staying to the side as we come up, moving to center, and shifting the weight to the opposite direction, and dropping down. See, I'll go this way so you can maybe see a different angle. So it's like making a circle with the body. And we'll rotate the circle or reverse the circle. Doing our best to find some integrity in our spine so we're not dropping like this, but rather pushing out and tilting the hips back, like drawing baby up. So just check yourself here and there. Don't give yourself a hard time about it. You're human. Anybody would, pretty much anybody would rather work with an imperfect human than a perfect robot. At least I would. So treat yourself right. Kind. All right, and then we'll come back to center. And then from here, we're going to place the right hand directly under the chest neck area, okay? And then using the left hand, we're going to draw like a bow. So let's wrap belly up, wrap baby up a little bit, draw baby up, protecting the back. And like a bowstring, we're going to use our left hand to pull up across the chest, reach up as far as you can. If you're here, that's fine. Go with it. Reach, reach, reach as high as you can. Look up and exhale. We're going to thread the needle through the arm, bringing the ear to the ground. And what do I do with my other arm, you may ask? Well, let me show you. We'll keep the other arm can be planted down on fingertips. You can stretch it out in front of you. It'll be difficult to injure yourself in this position. Let me just say that. So just play with it. See what feels good in your body. Like I said, all bodies are different, and this is your time and space to have the freedom to explore your body and give it what it needs. So take that seriously and to heart, and start relearning what your intuition and instincts feel like if you've lost sight or sound of them. Just play around with it. Trust yourself. Okay. You can also try pushing out of the top arm to kind of give you a rotation, or swaying the body back and forth to see how you can get into those rough spots. And we'll make it to the other side by coming up onto all fours, putting the left palm down underneath about the neck space, and then drawing the right arm up like a bowstring, up across the chest, opening up to the world and reaching high, reaching for the stars like we wish our children would. And know somewhere deep inside they will reach. Threading the needle, dropping the ear, and then deciding where the arm goes. Respecting that this side may be different, maybe drastically different, particularly if you have another child that you prefer to carry or feed on one side or the other. This will be a good tool to put in your tool belt for nursing, opening up the shoulders or just carrying a baby. Don't forget to breathe. And the next inhale will come up and out. Okay, from here, we'll curl the toes under, bring the palms out in front of you, like about where your head is. And then we're going to slowly, here's a challenge for you, we're going to slowly bring our knees up to hover. Okay, so we're hovering here. And maybe you're like this. Try to hinge forward where your shoulders are over your wrists. And drop it. Okay, I'm going to try that again. Ready? Take a big breath in. Exhale, lift. Breathe in and drop. Good. We'll bring the toes together, open the knees, and we'll sit our hips back into child's pose. Now here, this is child's pose. Ideally dropping the forehead to the mat. It's okay if your hips are up here. Although in pregnancy, you might find that your hips go further. Before I was pregnant, it was pretty much here. But to relax and really makes a difference. You can also take your bolster and bring it in at your knees, and then rest the belly on that. And then another way that you could do it is just using the forearms to support you. As you come back and then drop to the forearms. You'll want to release as much as you can here. Just taking some big inhales and exhales. On the inhale, feeling the breath fill up the back body, making space in the back ribs. And feeling yourself melt down a little bit on the exhale. One more big breath. And letting it go. We'll come back up and kind of shift the heels over, decide to come onto your butt. Okay. Now we're here, we're going to do some stretching through the side body. I'm trying to figure out which way I'm going to face for you. We'll draw the right heel in to the crotch, putting the left leg out. If you can have as much space as you need between your heel and your crotch. It's your body, you dictate. Don't push yourself beyond what feels good. There are boundaries, there are edges that we do want to meet. We want to push ourselves, but not to the point of injury. And if you haven't done much exercise, that might take a little bit of time to recognize where that boundary is. So stay on this side of that edge, and then know that one day you'll be able to reach that edge. Maybe look over it, and then come back until you're ready to push that edge a little bit further. But for now, particularly while we're pregnant, growing a beautiful life, we'll just stick to what is comfortable and mildly challenging. Trying to push y'all. Okay, so here we're gonna turn the torso to face the toes that are up, so the left toes. So we'll turn the torso to face. You might want to readjust your butt. We're gonna reach the arms up, lengthening through the spine. Lengthen before we start to hinge forward at the hips. Okay, hinging forward. All right. Might start to feel a stretch here, which is great. Now here we're going to drop the right arm on the outside. Oh, and you should feel a stretch here in this part of the back. Well, maybe the side body, it might be near the spine for you. So both hands are on the outside of the left leg. Okay. Inhale deeply, finding expanse in the back, and then exhale, maybe going a little bit further. Maybe consider dropping the neck. Breathing nice and deep here. Okay, and then we'll release the front arm and bring it to the inside. So you're framing your leg at this point. So this, get a different space. And maybe you're also feeling it in the hip that's bent, as I am today, which is a unique feeling. I don't usually feel it there, but that's all right. Every day is different, right? Inhale, look forward, and then exhale, drop the head and the neck. Maybe chin to chest, or as close as that gets. And if you're really tight, or baby's taking up too much space, or belly's taking up too much space, doesn't matter which one. That's where these come in handy too. And you can be here. And that's where these blocks come in handy. And you've got 3 different heights with these. So pick one that works for you. You can inch forward if you need to. This helps to get into different spaces as well. So you might consider just trying it either way. All right, good. Then we'll slowly, holding baby into the belly, inch our way back up. Gosh, that felt good. All right, let's take it to the other side. Drawing the left heel in, just resituating the butt so that we can face the torso to the toes. Okay. Lifting up and out of the hips, grounding down through the hips, lifting through the head, and hinging forward at the hips. Dropping the left hand to the outside, both hands to the outside of the right leg. Feeling the stretch here. Again, maybe employing some blocks. You stack them up depending how tight you are. Or how little space you have. You challenge depending where you're at in your pregnancy, or how your body shape was when you started, or how it's changed. Goodness. Pregnancy can be very challenging, and this one has been for me. My last one was wonderful. This one has been a challenge thus far, and I'm working really hard to try to flip my mindset, to really focus on the good parts of it, getting myself ready for positive labor. Okay. Maybe drop the neck if you haven't already. You can also play with moving the heel that's tucked in to see if that kind of helps. If you're getting too tight there. All right, and then we'll bring the hands to frame the leg now. Like we did on the other side, look forward and then drop that head. Chin to chest maybe. Again, using your blocks as needed or as desired to help you find a deeper stretch that maybe you can't get otherwise with all this goodness right here. Okay, then we'll slowly come out of that. Gosh, I'm feeling real stretched out now. It feels great. All right. Before we take a resting posture, we'll do a couple more things. To all to come up to hands and knees again. We'll make our way to standing from here. So we'll curl the toes under. This could be challenging, but I encourage you to give it a shot. We will lift the knees up, sending the hips up high. Up high. Your heels do not have to touch the ground. Mine are not at all. I'm up on my tiptoes. But then we're going to hinge. We're going to kind of settle into the heels as much as we can. Hips up high. High. And then walk those palms back. You can bend in the knees as much as you need to or want to. Walk back. There we go. Okay, here we're in a wide-legged squat with hands on the ground. I should have told you this before, but if you got your blocks handy, they can help here. Whew. Okay, let's drop the head down. Kind of relax. And find space. You're walking around all funny. You should find some space here. This is what we're shooting for. So releasing the head and neck down, kind of instead of pressing into the palms, we're gonna release the shoulders down, make space for your belly in between your thighs here. Sitting back into the tailbone here. Oh, it should be a little challenging here, but find space here. Okay, and then we'll inhale. Bring the palms to the thighs. Try to somewhat straighten the legs. Look forward. Find a nice, like you have someone pulling your ponytail out like this, straightening you from hips to head. Lengthen and then drop down again. Okay. Now we're going to drop the hips a little bit more. Let the hands touch the legs, and then we're just going to paint the legs with our fingertips as we slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. As you get to the top, shrug the shoulders, draw them onto the back, and let them hang down. Great. That was a little challenge for me. Oh, but it feels good to find some strength and mobility in my stiff body. Okay, so we're standing palms out, shoulders open wide, finding space in the chest, chin slightly tucked, pushing down through the toes and the heels. And this you might find challenging some of your muscles as well, particularly if you're having to sleep in interesting positions. You might be feeling it in your arm or in your chest. Just notice where your body is holding things, and see if you can use the breath to kind of let it go a little bit. And if any emotions come up when you focus on any of those places that are either hurting or feeling extra tight or sensitive, let it come. Acknowledge the truth in our emotions so we can let it pass. I'll take an inhale, reach, palms wide, painting the walls and the ceiling, looking up, drawing the palms together, bringing them down to the chest. Remember the intention that we set. I am. Say it to ourselves quietly here. Consider it done. So inhale, arms up and over. Exhale, arms back. Chest. Bow the head slightly. I'm going to show you a down dog against a vertical surface. Because as your belly grows, or as you have more and more trouble maybe moving around, this can come really in handy. So instead of going down on the floor, those of you who are comfortable going down on the floor, let's meet in down dog. Otherwise, I'll show you a variety of how you can do it up against the surface. Okay, so let's reach the hands out. You can do this on a wall, but I have very little wall space. I can do it here. But I'm gonna do it down here this is a trunk, but you can do it on a desk or countertop, whatever works, table. All right, so we want to keep the feet hip width apart. Hands can go, if you're on a wall like this, if you're on a surface, they can go on top, just resting here. And then we're gonna, let's see, slowly walk the feet back. You want them to be kind of underneath the hips, okay? So you'll draw like as if you have a handle on, like you're pulling yourself from your panties, about to give yourself a wedgie. We're not going to do that, but just imagine like that space. We're going to lift up and to like the corner of the ceiling, up and away. So I guess not a wedgie. Like you're gonna stick some ice cube in somebody's swimsuit, you know, in the summertime. Anyway, kid fun. Up. Oh man, this is really tight for me today. Right, so if you lift the hips up towards the ceiling and towards the wall behind you, we'll kind of drop the neck a little bit here. You don't want to let it go too much, but just let it ease between the shoulders. Let it find some ease. Okay, and we don't want to you don't want to let go in your belly. Draw that baby up to protect your back. The idea is to find length between, again, like a line from the ponytail to your tailbone. And then you can drop the head slightly so that your line is now going at a slight angle. And you can try walking back if you like, just to see how it feels. So just take your time exploring in this position. This is really, really good to get into this low mid back area if down dog is not a posture that's accessible to you. And sometimes you might just prefer this one because of the difference in where you can find the opening. Okay, so we'll take another breath here. And then on the exhale, some people are down dog. On the exhale, we'll drop the hands down to the knees or walk your hands back to the feet, and then we'll meet in halfway lift. And then exhale, forward fold, again using those blocks if you like. And then slowly tucking the tail, the chin, and rolling up slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae. All right. Okay, almost there, y'all. And while we're up, we're going to our next order of business. We're going to go into a squat, a low squat. It'd be a good position for laboring. It's also great to help make some space in the hips and the legs, and aid in strength and lengthening the spine. So decide how you want to do this. If you're not familiar with it, you might want to go up against like the edge of the couch or something. You can do it holding on again to counter or a surface. And you can also use a block if you have it, or your book, your Tupperware, whatever you got. We'll make it work, right? Right, ladies? I'm doing yoga in this tiny little apartment to show you that it can be done. Okay, so you're standing. We'll go into yogic squat. So I'm going to show you first. If you know where we're going, head on down there. If you want to try with on a surface, I will show you. So I'm going to show you here first, actually, sorry. Okay, so you want your legs kind of turned out. I guess 45-degree-ish, slightly out from the hips. And what we'll be doing is dropping the hips down, the knees kind of slaying out. Okay, you might find that you need to make more space, that's fine. You can rest your hands here if you like. Use your block to come down, okay? We're gonna come down here. This is where we're all going to meet. Somewhere here, you can put your block underneath you to support you. And if you need help getting down there, I'm about to show you a couple different ways that you can use items in your household. You can also use a partner. Okay, hair toss. Okay, here we go. Using a surface. Get your legs wide, toes turned out, little duck foot, and then we'll drop the hips down, letting the knees. This is going to be a challenge to some of you, some of us. And then feel free when you're down here, you can move around, find the right spot for you. Okay, all right. If you want to do it with your back against the surface, those of you down there, keep at it. If you're getting fatigued, that's fine. Come out and find a comfortable seat while I show the rest of the ladies another option to get down. Let's do it here. See, we can find space if you just get a little creative. All right, so here, you can just lean up against your bookcase, your couch, your wall, whatever it is. come down. You can use the wall. Okay, and even if you're like this is a good starting spot. To get out of it, you might just plop down. Totally fine. You'll get there. Okay? Ideally, you'll be able to, one day, just one day, tell yourself that. One day, girlfriend, you'll be able to get on down there. There's another way you can get into this posture, and you can do it from all fours. Okay? Curling your toes under. You bring one leg up, and then bring the other leg up. Widen your stance a little bit. You're kind of on all fours here in Gollum style. Okay, grab your book, Tupperware, block, whatever. Make sure it goes across your entire ass. Oh, excuse me, butt. Here we are. All right. There's some of you who have been in this position for a while now, and hopefully you've managed to breathe through it, make some good space, lengthening through the spine. Okay. Since we spent a lot of time here, I'm going to go ahead and make the transition down to our booties. That's how I like to do it, how I have to do it. Okay, and here we'll bring the toes together. Give yourself some space, like at least this much space, a block space between your heels and your crotch this time. We'll lift and exhale. Slow the heart rate down a little bit. Relax the legs. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift and raise the arms. And exhale, twist to the right. Whatever that twist looks like is just right. If you're focusing on your body and the sensations, you're doing it right, y'all. Inhale, maybe lift a little bit or twist a little further. Inhale back to center. Lift and lengthen through the spine, and exhale, twist to the opposite side. Lifting from the pelvic floor all the way up. And exhale, maybe look behind you, twist a bit more. Inhale big, and exhale completely, and on the next inhale, we'll come to center. Okay, let's move into a resting posture. Just for a couple minutes to close out our session here. I'm going to show you, I think I'll turn the camera a little bit to show you one of my faves that maybe you can replicate in your house with some of the materials that you have. Okay. I'm getting sassy with my hair tosses. Okay, so just one super simple one that is great if you want to try to lay on your back and the pressure isn't too much. You can try putting your legs up on a bolster or a rolled blanket or another pillow, okay, and then coming down to rest. This is going to make some space under here, which is why it should be okay for you even in the second or third trimester. But again, this is totally up to you. Listen to your body and your baby. Okay, if it doesn't feel good, don't do it. Plain and simple. All right, I'm going to get out of it so I can show another one. Be easy on yourself. Okay, another one. Put the bolster or a pillow to the side. Another pillow here. We'll get down on one side and rest the top leg. This is probably how most of y'all sleep. Okay, in that restful posture. I'm going to show you one more. This one, you have to have some props or some supports. I need to be a little bit closer than I always think. All right. Oh, while I'm here, I think I'll show you a couple, like a good twist. Put knees together, hip right up to the edge, and then you'll twist into it like this. And you can rest here if this is what you're craving. Go for it. Okay? Just rest on it. Oh man. You can look the other way or not. I'm too tight for that. There's one. What you do on one side, you want to do on the other side. So give yourself some balance in your life, even if the only place you can find it is on your mat. We'll take it where we can and get it. Okay, and then the posture that I was trying to get to before I got distracted. You gotta bring your hip right up to the edge and find your way to rest here. This is bound ankle, supported bound ankle. So here the feet are together like you're in butterfly, but the legs out. Palms up or down, whichever one feels good to you. Now hopefully everyone is in a nice, comfortable posture. Allowing your body to just be. On every exhale, letting the body just sink into the floor and the supports. Going to find a deeply restful mental space. Completely relaxing the physical body so that we can stop worrying about it. Here I invite you to take your awareness and let it sink out of the head, down through the throat, and into the chest space near the heart. Just feel the love in this space. This is the seat of your love for you, your baby, and everything else that matters to you, perhaps beyond. Let's let that awareness drop further down into the belly and into the womb, which happens to not only be where new life in physical form is made and created, but also the seat of our creativity and our spirit. All of these come together at once when we are growing a child in our womb. With our awareness down there, just send some love to our babe. And maybe ask our intuition what we need to know. What do I need to know right now? And trust that whatever comes up is what you need to hear, see, or feel. Even if it's nothing, perhaps the blank slate is just what you need to proceed with the rest of your day. And if you're asking yourself if you made up what you heard, saw, or the message you received, just trust that wherever it was made up, it was still made for you. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Send thanks to your intuition for responding to you, even if it was nothing. We can eventually rebuild this connection if it has been lost. Will come in handy in labor. And then slowly come back to the present moment, letting the awareness float back up into the head, maybe wiggling the fingertips, and eventually batting the eyelashes and opening the eyes, if yours were closed. We'll slowly come out by getting onto your side if you aren't already. Very slowly. Gentle movements to protect and love ourselves and our bodies. Okay, I'm going to meet here for a final thank you. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. I hope the rest of your day goes exceptionally well now that you're loosened up and relaxed and a little bit stronger. Take care. See you next time.